Are we live right now?
Yes, we are.
All right. Well, we are so glad to be here. I think we're done our pre-conference logistics. All kidding aside, I'm actually very happy to be here with my fellow elected officials. I think the challenges and the viewpoints that we've seen in our respective areas, a very, very similar message, very similar story. So we are going to continue to work together on what is happening right now, because we know that there are still people without power, and we're going to continue to work together to make sure that we have the answers so that we can make sure that the mistakes that have happened in the past do not happen again. But again, let me begin by saying that my name is Mayor Lisa Wong. We are right here at the Fitchburg Emergency Operations Center in downtown Fitchburg, and it's been a tremendous effort these last 8 days. A state of emergency is still in effect. Certainly the ice storm of last Friday has been coupled with a snowstorm on Wednesday. Last night. We're expecting snow to come in on Sunday, and also expecting snow to come in around Christmas time. So this is a serious situation. We want to make sure that people continue to find warm places to stay. We have emergency shelter set up at our Fitchburg Senior Center, 14 Walls Avenue. We encourage people to seek shelter there. There's also food being served there, and they can find the center by calling 978-343-4801. And certainly visit them at 14 Walls Avenue. There is a parking ban in place in Fitchburg to aid in the snow removal and plowing effort. It will be in place until further notice because we do have a snowstorm coming in tomorrow night. And as electricity is being turned on, I've talked with our city wire inspector, Harry Parvainen, and he is advising residents to have a licensed electrician connect or disconnect generators or other non-utility supplied power sources. If you have connected a generator or other source, your home power panel can create a fatal condition for utility service personnel. They're finding a surging back of power if the generator has not been properly installed. So as power is being restored to the remaining homes without electrical service, it is imperative that no power is being transformed to utility power lines. So we're asking people that if you know that work is being done, please turn off your main electric line. We want to make sure that the crews that are coming in from all over the state, all over the country to help bring power back to your house are not put in any danger. We also want to make sure that the roads are kept clear as these utility crews are working around the city to restore power. It's important that citizens do not hinder these efforts of snow removal, hinder the efforts of the crews to restore power. They are working hard for us, and please let them do their jobs. We're asking people, of course, to also use caution on the roadways if you are on the roadways. It is still slick out there, and with more snow expected tomorrow night, we want to make sure that people are safe. And in terms of schools for Monday and Tuesday, we're going to continue to keep people updated through normal channels. We are still trying our best. We have power restored to all our schools, and we're going to be making a decision sometimes this weekend as to whether schools will be closed on Monday and Tuesday. In terms of power restoration, the city has been collecting information and compiling that information on the city's website, www.ci.fitchburg.ma.us, and we're also posting that map as it's being updated at the Fitchburg Senior Center. We feel that this aids in information that goes to the public. We know that we've had difficulties as a city trying to get through on very, very busy lines to the power company to seek information. So as we get that information, we want to make sure that we pass that right along to our residents. And in preparation for the power coming back on, if you have damage to your electrical service that is attached to your house, that is the homeowner's responsibility. You can log on to unitil.com, or you can call their hotline number at 888-301-7700. Make sure that you've logged a service work order through that hotline number so that as the crews come around, they know that there's an individual problem to your house. They may not know that if a street is energized and if you have not logged your home. This past week, we did talk to Waste Management. They did say that they were up to speed on their trash pickup. So if your trash has not been picked up, that might be an individual problem that they may have forgotten. So we, at the city, go through the Board of Health. We ask you to call the Board of Health, let them know that your trash hasn't been picked up on its normal day. You can actually call them anytime, snow event or state of emergency or not. You can call the Board of Health, let them know that Waste Management has not picked up your trash like they're supposed to. And that number is 978-345-9582. I just want to take a moment and just looking around the room, I know the camera can't see everybody who's here or downstairs or out on the roads, but there's just been a tremendous amount of effort put into this. And, we're standing here 8 days after the storm event, and I have to say that it's been a struggle. It's been a constant effort on all our parts to get any and every resource we can available through the state, the federal government, through working together to bring resources to the community. Some of it has been extremely frustrating. Some of it has not come through. Some of it has. But I would say that the majority of what has made the city pull through is you, the citizens of Fitchburg. I have been extremely pleased about the response of the City Council and the other elected officials. They have been absolutely wonderful in helping to get the word out. They know their neighborhoods. They're feeding that information back to the Emergency Operations Center, helping me do my job, helping our emergency personnel do their job. And we've also been using that information to help Unitil because, again, we are the ones that know the city well. And as city residents, you should be very proud in what you have all done in coming together in these difficult times. Our city's DPW dispatch, they have reported that there's a storm-related call into their department every 30 seconds. It might be more than that because people might be receiving a busy signal. Since the ice storm, our city's police department has logged over 1,000 calls. Just those that are storm-related, and that's in addition to all the other calls that they're receiving. Our city's fire department estimates that their storm-related calls are about 120 calls per hour. Now, these are just the calls that are coming through. I would guess that these might be our maximum capacity. So we know a lot of you have been utilizing calling the city departments to get information. And right now, our shelter, the Walls Civic Center, the Walls Ave Senior Center, is currently housing just over 100 residents, and we have become a regional shelter. Red Cross has helped to take over that responsibility just of last night. We're very happy to see that, as our Board of Health has been just really tremendous in running the shelters in addition to doing their job. So I want to thank Steve Curry and Jeff Stevens and their staff for just doing a tremendous job. And although the storm emergency is not over, there are more crews working at this hour than ever. We're confident that the utility has heard our message and will respond with the restoration of all our customers of electric service by tomorrow meaning Sunday evening here in Fitchburg. And I know that there are different figures for Lunenburg, and we have some representation from Lunenburg here as well. Right now, because the situation is not over, we're asking everybody, again, call our hotline if you have any questions. You can call us at 978-343-4801. Be patient. Just seeing the amount of crews that have come in, even though it is late in the game, they have come in, and let's let them do their jobs. Let's see if we can get everything done in the city of Fitchburg before tomorrow's major snowstorm, and that's Sunday evening. And I know that we have some elected officials here who would also like to say a few words, and all of them have been tremendous in our cities and in our respective region. And we have State Representative Stephen D. Natale representing the city of Fitchburg. We have State Representative-elect Jen Benson representing a number of towns, including Lunenburg. And we also have our State Senator, like Jen Flanagan, who represents a number of communities, all of which have been affected by the storm. So I'm going to begin by asking our state representative to say a few words, our state senator, and then and we want to thank you for coming. Thank you. As well, and for you to say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Wong. Once again, I want to thank all the crews that are out there, certainly helping to restore power in the city of Fitchburg. They're doing a great job under very, very difficult conditions, and I'm asking the people of Fitchburg to respect that and to let them do their jobs. I also want to assure the people of Fitchburg that there will be a full and thorough investigation into the response of the utility company, certainly in the city of Fitchburg. And I'm pleased to see that Representative-elect Jen Benson is here today to tell us some of what's happening in Lunenburg, one of her communities, and also, obviously, who's been here all along, Senator-elect Flanagan. I want to thank her for her efforts as well. Mayor.
I just want to thank the residents of Fitchburg. This has been such a difficult time for all of us in this entire region. So I think it's evident of how much we care about this community that we've had people here 24 hours a day at the Emergency Operations Center between police and fire and DPW. The question of the day is Unitil, what's going on? And I think we've certainly aired our frustrations about the response and the impact that Unitil has had on our communities. This is by no stretch over in terms of the legislature and in terms of the legislative delegation here. Our first and foremost concern is to get people their power back. We have 2 more snowstorms coming. We want to make sure those transmission lines can handle the snow that's coming. We want to make sure Unitil's on the job. So I ask the residents, please allow these guys to do their jobs. The tree crews, the line crews, they're going where they're directed to go. So they're the ones that are actually trying to get you your power back. You'll have time to air the frustrations to us. We'll certainly take, people have been calling our offices, calling our homes. We understand that you're frustrated, but please allow these guys to get the job done. We want everyone to have power for Christmas, whether it's Lunenburg, who's roughly at 70% with power, which leaves 30% of the people without power. We still have people in shelters. We really need to get this done as quickly as possible, especially with the upcoming storm. So thank you so much, and if you have any questions, you can call any of our offices. We will be responding to the phone calls. Representative.
Thank you. Thank you, Mary Juan. I just want to take this opportunity to address primarily people in Lunenburg. I know there's a lot of information that is either misinformation or information we haven't been able to get through. So right now we are at 30% still without power. We have been working hard along with the governor, the lieutenant governor, in order to hold Unitil accountable, get them in there and get the job done. So that's been our primary focus. But also I just wanted to make sure everyone knows that the shelter at Turkey Hill Middle School is still open, and it is operating, serving about 200 meals per meal a day, and about 35 people overnight, and we still have capacity for more. Please, if your house is cold, come out and we will feed you and house you. Also, our public safety folks, Chief Glennie, Chief Bourgeois, DPW Director Jack Rodikins have been doing a fantastic job making sure our streets are clear and safe. If you have issues, you can call the Public Safety Building at 978-582-4150. And please make sure your generators are not in your houses. We've had a lot of CO calls, people that have their generator either in their basement, right next to their front door. It's not a safe situation. We want you to be safe, so make sure that your generator is clear of any openings into your house. So that's the information we have right now, and we are getting out as much information as possible. I've put an update on my website, jenbenson.org, if you have capacity to check that out. And we have crews now going door to door to check on our elderly neighbors who haven't wanted to leave their home. So if you have the ability to check on your neighbors, please do that, and we are doing all we can to get the efforts moving. So thank you.
Thank you. We'll now take questions.
Approximately how many Fitchburg residents are still without power today?
As of this morning, the reports were about 2,000 people. We know that Unitil has said they'd like to eliminate that number by the end of the day tomorrow. They're looking at approximately doing half of that work today. So as we speak, I know significantly more people are coming online.
You talked about asking folks to let the utility crews do their jobs. Are you hearing, what kind of stories are you hearing?
We've heard that utility crews are being accosted, that, there's this confrontation out in the field from residents who are angry, and we understand that. But again, we have utility crews coming in from Tennessee and Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania. They're coming from all over, and they're walking into this. So we're just asking the residents to please understand that they're trying to do their jobs, and it's very stressful for them.
Yeah.
The utility crews that are on the ground are doing everything that they can to restore this.
You know, we've also, I know that people are hungry for information. Those line crews are given a task. A lot of people are asking those line crews for a whole slew of information they may not have. That is taking time away from their job. We are also hearing reports of excessive hugging of utility crews going on. You know, and that's great, but again,
Feed them while you're at it.
it does take time away. I mean, we are, I think if we're feeling anything, we should be feeling very grateful that these crews are coming a long way away from their folks and their friends and their family to come here to help us. So let's give them some space. There's going to be plenty of time for both feedback and applause later on. And again, we provided various numbers. Let me just repeat them right now. The city hotline, 978-343-4801. The Unitil number, 888-301-7700. And I didn't memorize, can you repeat yours?
Well, ours is just our public safety building. We don't have a hotline. It's 978-582-4150.
Okay,
And-
582-4150.
Yes. And if we could just please also reiterate, there are still a lot of down wires. Don't touch them. I've been getting reports of people trying to flag down utility crews. I'm sorry. I've been getting reports of people trying to flag down utility crews by holding wires and waving them. Very dangerous, so please don't touch the wires.
Good. Our public safety is really our top concern. As government officials, we are not the power company. Our first and foremost duty is the protection of life. So we're trying to give tips for a lot of homeowners out there. We know that there's a lot of frustration. We are feeling that frustration, and that's why this is an issue that is not going to go away, even if the storm events go away.
Representative Dinatale, you mentioned
Yes.
about having a full and thorough investigation. Could you or anybody give specific reasons why you are really pushing for a thorough
I think I've been pretty clear from the beginning that the response, and I use the term lackluster, and I think probably at this point, in day 9, that was being a little gracious. But again, the real important piece here is getting people's power restored and getting them back in their homes. But again, I want to assure certainly the people of Fitchburg that there will be a full and proper accounting for the way that Unitil responded to this crisis. So,
Do you know what the, I realize this is a little premature maybe, what the outcome of such an investigation would be?
It could be-
Fines? Is
It could be
it's
the
going to be
consideration.
far-ranging, believe me. It's going to include a number of agencies, particularly DPU. The Attorney General's office is involved. Certainly, the governor has always been made aware of the difficulty that living within the Unitil world has been for the people of Fitchburg. And I think when he came out last week, this was one more example of something that we really need to take a look at and address.
Could you cite examples, specific?
I think I want to reserve that right now because, again, we want to put all the information together. There's a lot that happened, that's happened over the 9 days, and probably going to be longer than 9 days. We need to sit down, and we will. The legislative delegation, certainly, city officials, department heads, there's a great deal of information to put together, and we want ample time to do that. And we want to, again, assure the people that that's going to happen.
And again, this goes well beyond Fitchburg. I mean, we have Lunenburg, Ashby,
Right.
and Townsend, who certainly have Unitil that aren't here today with us, but they're up fighting the battles that are up there. And, you know, we certainly can request, whether it be regulatory changes or legislative changes, or look into what's happened. But today, we're looking to get people's power back. I mean, we can have this argument well into next year, but we're not going to hinder the efforts of people who are trying to get their power back.
What's being done to prepare for what's coming tomorrow? We've been hearing all day there's another 6 to 8 inches of snow coming tomorrow. What's being done to get ready for the next one?
Well, thankfully, snow is actually something we know how to deal with, and our both our DPW crews and a lot of the local contractors, and we have about 45 that are, on average, that are a part of all our snow removal efforts. They did a very good job last night. They're going to continue that effort with any snowstorm event that happens. We help prepare the roads by making sure that they're clear of debris. That's been one major effort over the past week. We've let Unitil know, and we've had our DPW crews assist in saying, we don't want you to waste your time putting power up if there are trees down. So we've had a lot of, it's been a lot of tree clearance, road clearance that we have a few spots in a few areas that are called in. Because of these events, we may clear roadways, and then we may hear that the wind or further icing and snowing has further knocked a tree down. So we are getting those calls right to DPW dispatch and making sure that as snow comes in, we've cleared all those obstructions out of the way. We also do proactive sanding and salting of the roads, and we also watch the weather very closely, and we make sure our crews are rested because they work long hours. I know they started working, actually they were working all day yesterday on road clearance, and then they worked through the night. And then we finally were able to release them at 7 o'clock this morning. So they've got a long job ahead of them. And
Did you say the power was back at the schools now, all the schools?
yes,
Okay. But the determination will be probably tomorrow about whether or not to come back for Monday and Tuesday?
that's right. The snow, the snow has a lot to do with it. We need to make sure that the roads are clear, not just of the road debris and the trees, but of snow. And it looks like we're going to get a lot of snow Sunday, a lot of heavy snow as well.
Spoke with George Gans from Unitil this morning, and he said the main issue for them is just a lack of manpower on their end, trying to help this region. Can you respond to that? He said that there's about 40 coming in this region.
Yeah,
Is that
today.
what you're-
And that's, obviously, the more manpower, the more crews, the more trucks, the more right equipment that you get, the faster things are going to go. The second consideration is, once you get those equipment, you need to make sure that they're utilized very efficiently. I know this very well. We have significantly improved the way that we and our city crews operate. We've actually had state-of-the-art technology downstairs, getting real-time information as it comes in, being able to map that out with different layers, posting that out for the public. And we deploy our manpower and equipment accordingly. We have people citing, we have people responding to that. I can't guess, what Unitil's operations are behind the scenes. I can only tell you what I think is good management, and that, from what I've seen in Lunenburg and what I've seen in Fitchburg, it's been deployed very well. Obviously, there's limitations. Our DPW crews, our private contractors, they cannot touch live wires. They can't go near them. The danger is too high. That sole responsibility lies with the power company, and that certainly has been an issue. I think there's been, I'm just trying to remember all the various press releases, but I think there's been, maybe 10 or 13 crews at one point in time. Today, we're looking at 75. We needed those 75 a week ago.
Maybe for Flanagan. Leominster obviously was back up online a lot quicker than Fitchburg has been. I believe they were in the 90% range by like Wednesday or...
Our students have already returned to school, too.
Do you know how many people, how many crews National Grid had out in Leominster in the days after this all started?
To think back, I don't know the exact number, but I know the response was much quicker. I know that, National Grid did a great job in Leominster, as well as their emergency management office. I mean, I was in that office daily, working alongside the mayor, the fire, police, the DPW, planning offices to make sure that we actually got out to the people. The difficulties that lie in Fitchburg, not only with Unitil, is that the terrain is much more difficult. There's 244 miles of roadway. A lot of it is winding. When you get out to the outskirts of Fitchburg, you've got it sort of into the woods, that those secondary roads are just much more difficult, and there is a lot of damage. So you can't really compare the two cities as to how they responded against each other. I think you need to look at the differences, one in the utility companies, two in the lay of the land, just geographically and physically. But I think, I've been here in Fitchburg every day. I've been to Lunenburg, I've been to Lancaster, been to Gardner. And it's just, the local officials, the local government have been working day and night. And I stress that to everyone who lives in these areas. Your local government has been working to coordinate efforts, but the utility companies have to get the job done. There's nothing that the mayor can do to make the power come on any quicker than she hasn't done already. And so, between my colleagues in the House and myself and, people throughout this region, they've been working very, very hard. You would never know it's Christmas. I don't think anybody's been Christmas shopping.
Has Unitil been involved in any of these briefings? Has anybody from that company addressed the public? And has there been any kind of expression of either remorse, regret, or promises made?
Unitil comes out and briefs, and comes out with their press releases daily. They come out with briefs as to what's gone on. But for the everyday person, they don't want to hear what the percentage of primary lines that are up. They want to hear how many houses are online and is theirs next. And I can tell you that I've been downstairs answering phone calls just as well as everybody else to say, is my road up yet? Or my street's on, but now my house isn't up, and the electrician's saying there's nothing wrong with it. So, we want to deal in hard facts. We want to deal with the fact that people want their power back. And it's cold, and we're going on day 9, and you have families out there.
Any additional questions? Okay, well, I want to thank everybody again, and again, we want to make sure that everybody's safe. If you have access to the phone line and you need information about what's happening in terms of city-related or storm-related issues, you can call us at 978-343-4801, and we also encourage people, please check on your neighbors.
Yes.
Thank you.